red. It might make you think of or a poem by the Los Angeles-based poet Arminé Iknadossian, who wrote the collection All That Wasted Fruit, and a little piece called Red Poem. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming back to that poem. Surprise, surprise, Arminé's poem made me think of, no, not the rose, not the lollipop. It got me wondering, when was the first time I'd been struck by the image of blood in a movie? For years, blood didn't show up in a memorable way in most movies or on TV. For one, it wasn't always allowed. I mean, it wasn't banned like sex was banned, but it was limited what you could do. And on TV, for a long time, it was a black and white world. People got shot, they fell down. Color TV came in, people got shot, they fell off their horses. I lived in the mountains till my teens, and we had no TV, and the nearest movie theater was an hour away in Reno. When the family came down to the East Bay of the San Francisco area one summer, I did see a movie, and the trailer, back then we called them previews, it scared me so much I cried. Not loudly, not like when I was a real little kid. So, as a kid, I glimpsed some scary stuff, but no blood. Not for many years, nothing that had an impact. Wait, where was I? Yeah, not much messy blood in the movies. It was largely a black and white world up until the chocolate syrup that horrified entire nations of moviegoers.
Hi, kids. Look at some delicious magic with the extra good chocolate-flavored syrup.
You all know what chocolate syrup I'm talking about. At the age I was when that came out and me being up there in the mountains, I didn't see Hitchcock's movies. And anyway, I got my money's worth of terror by looking at the newspaper ad with the title, Psycho. So, no memorable blood in the movies of my youth. There it is. That's it. The first cinematic appearance of blood that stayed with me. Compared to the graphic stuff we see in movies today, it was only a little blood, but you know the expression, less is more. And sometimes a little is enough. And wouldn't you know, it'd be Michael Caine. Michael frigging flapping effing Caine, not just any guy. Michael Caine reigns as the one enduring presence in my life since I was 12. And my little friend Lori's parents took the two of us to a movie, making that long drive from the mountains through the desert to Reno to see Michael Caine. Only I didn't know it was Michael Caine. Not many did. At that time, maybe only Michael Caine knew he was Michael Caine. And even he might not have realized all the implications of that. So that movie dazzled my friend Lori and me and left us wonderstruck. There's no greater actor of my lifetime, or one more versatile. As good? Yeah, well, sure, maybe. Yeah. Okay, maybe there was one better. But did anyone make more movies? Nobody I know. Like he says, he came out of the working class, his father a fishmonger, his mother a charwoman, in American English, a cleaning lady. The first Cockney actor to become an A-list movie star. How's that grab ya? Like he says, I'm from the working class, so I gotta keep working. I mean, he doesn't say it exactly like that.
I've not heard your Michael Caine, but I assume it would be something along the lines of, my name's Michael Caine.
That is where you are so wrong. And you can look at my live video for proof, because that's the very thing I don't do.
So his was the first blood. I mean, the first I remember. I mean, the first fake blood I remember. It'd break my heart if there were much left of it to be broken, that we can't let you hear John Barry's ingenious theme music, jazzy, sexy, suspenseful, evocative. My God, yes. It evokes the heck out of me. Or alternatively, it sure as heck evokes me. I think I like the second one better. Nowadays, it's become the theme music of my life because it plays in my car CD player when I drive around LA and makes me feel like my life is more important and interesting than it really is. But anytime we try to get some movie music in, an algorithm hunts us down and kills us. I mean, it kills our project. The Ipcress File, 1965, directed by Sidney J. Furie and starring Michael Caine, the screenplay by Bill Canaway and James Dorn, from a book by the master spy writer Len Deighton. Len Deighton, oh my God, that book! It's got parts of it that are so detailed and so intricate and so complex. I read Kierkegaard, and it wasn't that complex. But I actually, come to think of it, I didn't read all of that much Kierkegaard. Michael Caine is Harry Palmer, the not Bond spy, the not glorified spy, not comic book spy who does impossible action hero stunts, but a super smart, insolent, former military man forced to work as an agent of the government or else his boss will send him back to jail. So, he's a civil servant. Also, I forgot to mention, he wears glasses. I can't tell you how unconventional, practically revolutionary that was in 1965. An alpha male who wears glasses. And it's not just the glasses that make him the anti-glamour spy, that make him a real person, not like other purveyors of the machismo ethic we saw in the movies back in 1965. Harry Palmer cooks. Harry Palmer is going to be betrayed by almost everyone he's dealing with. Just like what happens to real people in life sometimes. That's why I call the Ipcress File spy noir. And you're wondering, what am I doing in an abandoned tube station in London? Did we all of a sudden get a travel stipend this show and we can shoot all over the world? It's a story behind this. Remember I said that my life was kind of unimportant and uninteresting? Well, somebody very close to me, my boss, set me up to be abducted by agents from a country unfriendly to the United States. When I escaped my abductors, I found myself in this abandoned tube station. Now you're wondering, why would agents of an enemy country abduct the great poets of America? It turns out they misunderstood. They don't realize how little power and impact and influence poets have in our country. They thought they had somebody important. And also, I think they mistook me for Louise Gluck. Ordinarily, I would have Arminé's book on me. I always travel with poetry. But they took the book. They kept it. They're convinced that it's written in code, and they have their master code breakers looking at it right now. They haven't quite figured out I've escaped yet. So I got to read this poem. I'm going to read this poem, which, by the way, they did not find on my person. Before I read the poem, I'm going to read a little bit about Arminé. And this poem, by the way, that I'm going to read, you may wonder, why? Why am I reading this poem in this particular situation, in this particular abandoned tube station? It's because it is filled with intrigue, which is to say that Arminé withholds certain information, reveals certain things, holds certain things back. Arminé was born in Beirut, Lebanon, immigrated to the U.S. in 1978. Her work has appeared in all kinds of journals and anthologies, and she earned her MFA from Antioch University. She's a seasoned writing teacher and coach. So they never thought of looking in my pockets. Isn't that for, they looked in other pockets. They just didn't, they forgot about my, my leather jacket. Or maybe they just didn't realize. They looked at it and didn't think it was anything important. Could be that too. Here's the poem that reveals certain things and withholds other pieces of information. Red poem. Red is so needy, so eager to spill onto the floor. A metaphor that fills cracks in cement after stabbings, lives in climates of palms, in myriad patterns where we rub against each other. In my dreams of coffee-stained moons in Budapest, the Danube flows under the bridge where you left me standing in a puddle after I ashed my cigarette in your dinner. The blush of your cheek still on my hand. You taught me that God is red, like a sky recovering from a dog day in August. The sound of rain on sizzling rooftops echoed reminders of you in postscript urgency, a field of poppies, a cardinal on a bare branch, a sliced blood orange on a white tablecloth. The color of skin after the slap, your lips, a red guitar. You know what? One good thing about being in an abandoned tube station on what might be the tail end of the worldwide pandemic, but we're not sure. At least nobody's within 6 feet of me. No anti-vaxxers are within 6 feet of me. That's good. I see an exit. An exit is what I'm going to have to do now. Back to the dangerous world. So good night, ladies. Good night, gentlemen. Watch your back. Look both ways. Don't let anybody treat you like you're two for a dime.